Parker.
Hi, Cathy.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me here today.
Oh, thanks for coming to my home.
Yes, it's
to
beautiful.
To be pardon the mess. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Nice breeze today.
Yes, it is nice today. It's a beautiful summer day.
Exactly. Yes, so pardon the mess. And I'd love to have your ideas for the windows.
Okay.
And you were recommended, so I'm excited to meet you, and
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear what you think.
I'm excited to be here.
Okay, where do you want to start? I mean, there's obviously windows here.
Yes.
But I know the one place that I'm thinking about is the master bath. But we can get to that and just look around the whole thing if you want.
All right, sure.
Okay.
What is the goal for like the window treatments, would you say? Is it for like blocking light or privacy or?
Well, I think each room is a little bit different, actually.
Sure. Okay.
I think for the master bath, it's privacy. 'Cause
Sure.
It's right over the tub.
Yep.
But also clean. I want it to look really like clean, and I don't think having a drape in the bathroom would be appropriate.
No. Yeah.
And I think privacy at certain times, because
Yes.
right here we're kind of on this street, so
Yes.
maybe at some point we might want to close those.
Yeah.
And then I can show you some of the others.
Okay. Yeah. Where would you like to start?
How about just right here?
Okay.
So these are double wide.
Yep. They
and,
are.
It's not wood in the inside, so does that make a difference on installation? I was wondering.
No, it depends on what we put in there, but I think it's fine for like we can do that as one treatment perhaps, if depending on what we consider. So there's like pros and cons to like all kinds of window treatments. Like we talked about maybe having like light and privacy, but managing it. So there's some products that are more suited for that, like blinds or shutters, because they have louvers and they can open and close.
Right.
Whereas there's other treatments that are kind of I call all or nothing, like a roller shade or a woven wood or a honeycomb shade for that matter. Those are kind of like they're down or they're up. There's not a lot of flexibility for light.
Got you.
But the pro and con of that is like shutters are kind of in the window and they're like, there's not a lot of, like you can't move them off the window too easily because sometimes there's furniture or walls in the way.
Right.
But with roller shades, conversely, it has a very small stack. So you can get those up out of the very discreet, so they can get up very much out of the way when you want them to be. So here that would maybe make sense because you have such lovely views out the window, and it would make sense maybe to kind of capitalize on that.
Yeah, so you could have a roller shade and then do a window treatment on top, and then that would just hide right up there.
Yeah, and so like roller shades, they come in a few different ways. You can have what we call like, I call it with no treatment on the top, or you can add like a valance to it, to the top of it, so it looks a little finished.
Okay, I've seen that in Roman shades too.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So or you could do a Roman shade. The Roman shades are really nice, but they have a kind of a longer stack. And so sometimes in this situation, it may not be like advisable, or someone who lives here may not want that because it would take away too much of the view and too much of the window.
Right, because when they go all the way up, they're probably about this,
yes,
right? Because they have to have all that that's going to come down. It's all pushed up there.
Right, and the way the Roman shades are constructed, woven woods for that matter, are constructed very much like a Roman shade fabric is, that it kind of pleats up on the back. So it takes up considerable space even when it's all the way up in the window.
Okay.
So not always, it kind of depends what you're trying to achieve. So that.
Now, how long have you been doing windows?
Oh, a while.
Yes.
Almost 10 years. So yeah. So
and do you love design and decor and all that?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. You see a lot of different things with people, so it's kind of fun to see that. And like everyone has a different taste, so there's so many different options and selections that are available. So everybody has their taste. But most of what we sell is white or off-white, honestly, because that's matches most people's decor.
Right.
So
the neutrals and the whites and all that is you don't have to be changing every few years.
Right, exactly. You can change
other
other
things. I
things.
love red this season.
You can change a pillow easier than you can change a window treatment. So,
exactly.
So it's it gives a lot of flexibility.
Now you said you don't make them in your shop in Hingham, and how many shops do you have? Is the Hingham your base?
Yep, Hingham's our base. We have one office in Hingham, and we kind of like filter out from there, like go to see different clients depending upon where they're located. Yeah. And we kind of that's kind of like the central area to like. The office administration is there, and like we receive product and people's orders there. But things are made depending upon what it is elsewhere around the country, around the world, for that matter. So,
really?
Yeah.
Now, how far do you go? Like, how far is your reach? Is it?
So we're growing. Right now, we kind of we have Hingham and Weymouth, Cohasset, Scituate, and Hull. And we also kind of go further south, like into we'll go as far south as Marion and Mattapoisett. And
oh, really?
Yeah, so we kind of cover a wide range of area, but yeah, so it's good.
Good, and you've won some awards.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, so
a big one recently, no? That one about the Northeast.
The number. Yeah, we're like the leading provider in the area for our shutter line for the Northeast. So yeah, so we do a lot of shutters. It's a very popular product. Yeah.
So you're on the road a lot, you personally?
Yep. We have some other people on the road with me too. So, and then we have people in the office and installers. We do our own installation. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good.
So, So it's we kind of cover all the bases.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So do you want to go into the kitchen and see what's over the sink?
So in the kitchen, like a lot of times what we'd like to consider is there's a few things different in a kitchen because a lot of times the window's behind the kitchen sink, right? So there is the potential for things splashing up on whatever treatment you might have. So we take that into consideration. Also that a lot of times people want to have the light in the area too. So we kind of will maybe just do like a simple top treatment, like a nice fabric to bring a pop of color into the space so that they can, because a lot of kitchens are very neutral, as this one is with gray and white, and the appliances are stainless or black. And so this would be a nice way to kind of add a pop of color for the homeowner that maybe likes orange or blue or red, and you can add that to a top treatment because you don't always need to have privacy or light block in the kitchen. Plus it's a little hard to reach too. If you're trying to put a treatment up and down, it's behind a counter, behind a sink, and it's up.
Exactly, clambering over the sink.
Yeah.
Standing up on the, I wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so, and here there's a lot of trees.
Yeah, so, you have a lot of block. If, if those trees stay there, it's not certainly a privacy issue. And again, people like to have the light because, clean the dishes and know what you're doing, see what you're doing. So it's kind of, or I would do something very simple, aside from maybe a fabric valance or treatment, I would maybe even consider what we talked about for the other windows, just a simple roller shade to put up and down. But again, it may not even be needed here because of where it is and what you're...
I might want to soften just a tiny bit on the top. Now, you do fabrics too?
Yes, we do, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do, yep.
So shutters and blinds and roller shades and valances and things
drapes, and we also do honeycomb shades, and there's some other kind of like unique products out there too that are kind of nice.
I haven't gone deep into the catalog yet because I just found out about you, and I'm very excited about it. So I'll go deep into it.
Yeah.
And can you bring your own fabric and have them?
Yes, we can take whatever you have and make it into something. I have some local people I work with, or we have national work rooms that we also work with.
And what's the lead time on that usually?
If you're providing your fabric?
Yeah.
So it can be, depending upon where I go. If I go to a local person, sometimes they're pretty quick if they don't have a lot of other things going on.
And you have some people you work with?
Yep.
Locally?
So that can be a couple of weeks. If we go to a national location, might take 4 weeks instead.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
I'll go for the local.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do local in the
whole
show
exactly.
anyway. Locally sourced. Local people support your community. So.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Should we go upstairs?
Sure.
Because one of the things I was wondering about is sliders. I can picture the panels and soft. This room's going to be, very, very soft. It already has a little bit of a pattern on the tile floor, and so this one's going to be very much spa-like.
Yeah.
Whites and
definitely
neutrals.
Yep. Very calm.
Pardon me. So what I was wondering is, I've seen the vertical blinds.
Yes.
Not really a big fan of that.
No, doesn't seem like a right fit here.
No.
Absolutely.
And so are there any sort of contemporary choices that people can have? Or, I can always just close the drapes.
You could do drapes, and so it might be worth considering how those would be set up, right? Because like this slider is kind of like centered on the wall, but there's like light switches to kind of keep into mind. So like you don't want to be reaching behind drapes and touching drapes and reaching to a light switch because your hands aren't always clean, and you might get.
They are now. After COVID.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's hands.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But you still have like a little bit oils on your hands, and so if you touch the drape in a certain spot all the time. Now, there's other ways around it. You can add batons to the drapes to pull them closed, and you can do things like that. But you want to have some wall space because you want to be able to capitalize on this view again. So you want to be able to push the fabric off the glass, so to speak.
Right.
So like here we have, so we have some good space over there. It gets a little crowded over there on that slider because it's right up against the wall.
Right.
So there would have to be some considerations. But there is some other things that they've been coming up with that are kind of a cool idea. And I'll just show you a little quick bleep of this. The nice thing about it is that they're just kind of on a track and they're all separate little things, and you can take them off and you can wash them in the machine, which is very nice because most stuff you can't do. So if there was like a certain one, because presumably by the opening that might get the dirtiest, so you could just pull the one piece off, and it's very filmy, very sheer looking, and it's a very pretty product.
I think I've had some like hotels I've stayed in that have had things like that.
Yeah, it's a really nice thing, and now you can get them for your homes, and you can go through any piece of it. You know, like people with pets, if you had a dog, you can just walk right through. It's not going to tear the whole treatment down off the window. So it's a nice option to consider. It just has this one wand to control it, and they come in like, you know, basic colors like white, black, gray, and so forth.
And so those get mounted right in the inside. And
actually, these would be on the outside because of you need a little bit of space because the handles on the sliders can protrude and interfere with the operation of something.
Yeah.
So, but it would look very nice here. And these aren't as don't have as much volume as like a drape might because they would have a smaller vertical stack. So, and it can get pretty wide. So we like that. And the other thing that we do that people like a lot is this thing. It's a woven wood, but it's vertical instead of horizontal. So you could do something like that. That's actually a woven wood.
Okay.
And then you could put like the other treatments that would match onto the window, which is kind of nice. You can have this with a rod or just like a simple valance. And those come in like lots of very earthy colors like white and off-white and pecan and honey and so forth. So that's a nice option to consider. And that's we've been doing those a lot for people because it's not as priced. Drapes can get very pricey too, very expensive. So,
but budget. So when you say budget, it doesn't mean not quality. It doesn't mean cheap. It means
no. It just means
do
we
you
have
to tell people that all the time.
Yeah, people always ask us that, but we have a lot of options, you know, given people's budget. So we try to find something that work with people's budgets, and depending upon what they
and
try to
budget should
accomplish.
be at all levels. People have budgets,
Right,
right? I mean,
right.
Even if it's
right, exactly. And you know, we've done other things too. You can do like a simple valance over this, and if you want to just have like a simple like honeycomb or roller shade that you just pull down when you need it, and then otherwise it's up out of the way. So there's things like that you could do, and then you could treat the separate window likewise, so that you could have it all be cohesive and matching. So
okay. Wow, Cathy, lots to think about.
Yeah, lots of choices. Depends upon what.
Do you ever walk in and somebody says, "I know exactly what I want"? Everywhere?
Sometimes people do.
Impressive.
Yeah, some people do. And we work with decorators in the area too, so they always know what they want to get for their clients. So that's easy too. Yeah. So, but sliders are bigger windows too, so that does take a little bigger chunk of the budget too. So that's the other thing to keep in mind because it's a bigger piece of glass than just say a single window. So,
gotcha.
But you know, it is a beautiful view, so you want to again kind of keep that in mind for whatever you might be doing, so that you can definitely capture that. Because, you know, I imagine the bed's gonna be right here, so that'd be like awesome waking up looking out at that.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that'd be really beautiful.
Yeah, and you get that beautiful slow traffic because there's no wake right there.
Yeah.
You get that slow
ebb
and flow of the boats, which is beautiful.
Yes. Very.
Always changing, always moving. So.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
To really, really think about that because you provided a few different options here.
Yeah. So there's definitely choices to consider for. Because the other thing too is you have to keep in mind you want to make sure if you do something you can certainly do the vertical things, and those are a couple things we talked about. You can do something horizontal, but you want to make sure it clears the opening so if someone's walking in and out of there, they don't hit their head.
Yeah.
So
I have a feeling we'll be walking in and out of there a lot.
I can imagine you would be.
And
so.
Cap's, you know, a tall drink of water where I could pretty much slide right through there.
Yep. So that's definitely something worth considering. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Really
yeah.
good.